Hey, Sergeant Jackson, welcome back. I'm glad to see you. How are you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So, before we get started with our session today, I just wanted to go over our session last week, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you were telling me a little bit about your nervousness and the anxiousness that you're feeling with the upcoming deployment.
Yeah. Just a little bit of nerves. Anxious of getting out there, figuring out the operations and all that stuff.
Right, and I sent you home with some homework, and it was to gather as much information as you could, or attempt to at least, about your deployment. Were you able to get that done?
Yeah, I got a few things. Um, I got my team, another personnel. I spoke to a little bit of them about what we plan on doing out there, even though we don't really have a mission yet. I just really spoke to them about try to see what their mindset is at. Is it the same as my mindset?
Okay. And how did that help you with your nervousness?
It relaxed me a little bit, only because I now know all the personnel, and I have worked with some of them before, so I kind of know how they operate and how I operate.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing both sides, and also getting to know the new personnel, knowing, not asking around, but talking to them a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and getting more information out of them, just to see where we're at now
Mm-hmm.
to get on the same page in the future.
Okay. And when you say you felt relaxed, so you're seeing an improvement in the nervousness and the impact it's having on your mood then?
Yeah, I'm still nervous and anxious all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but speaking to them has taken it down a good bit.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And if you could give me a scale 1 to 10 then, 1 being barely any impact, 10 being a great deal of an impact, where do you think the speaking with your peers and the figuring out the mindset, like you said, where does that place you on that scale?
I'll say around 5 right now, only because I don't know the mission.
Okay.
I don't know what we have to do out there. Some of us have to go to different classes,
Okay.
and some of us have to go to different seminars before we go out there, because this is probably the first of the men that we have had a mission like this.
Mm-hmm.
Not a mission, a area. Going to an area like this.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we're going to, your regular places where you set up shop. This is not that case, and this is a mission. They're asking for, different personnel
Mm-hmm.
from what they have out there. So I don't know if we're going to be tagging along with them,
Okay.
or we're going to be doing our own setup, our own direction. So right now it's about 5, because I'm not only unsure on what we're doing out there, but like I said, I don't know these people.
Right, of course. And the unknown can be very scary.
Right.
And I can kind of hear in your voice, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you are really nervous about all that it entails before you even get there, with all these classes and trainings that you mentioned.
Right. Because I have friends who have deployed before,
Mm-hmm.
and usually only do a training for 2 weeks. After that, you deploy. And then you have pre-deployment stuff you have to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not as this one where they say, "Hey, you're going to this school,
Right.
and this school, and that school. Now all of you have to go to this school." And then you have to get, and we're seeing what personnel have this, have that, and what weapons we have to carry. That's alarming itself.
Right, and I can understand why you would feel kind of all over the place, because it really does sound all over the place right now.
Right. It's no, I wouldn't say no organization, but it's no known idea of what are we doing.
No definitive answers.
Right.
Okay. So when you don't get these definitive answers, when you're looking for answers or asking questions, or when you're, at home and you're thinking about, oh man, I went through all of this today, this is all the information you gave me, and I still have really no clarity at all. What are you actually feeling? What kind of symptoms does your nervousness bring on?
During the day, I don't really feel it,
Okay.
because I'm doing, I'm taking care of what I have to do during the day. But when I get home, and say I'm sitting on the couch,
Mm-hmm.
That's when it all kind of sinks in. Sometimes I forget that I am deploying, and then once I remember, like, oh, I'm not going to be here. October, I have to leave October 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when everything just starts. All the anxiety of, I'm leaving and I don't know where I'm going. Oh, I know where I'm going, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Right, and that's totally understandable. And when you say that you don't really feel it during the day, that means you're not having any symptoms or anything like that related to the nervousness.
No, not really during the day when I'm taking care of what I gotta take care of.
Okay, so it all just kind of sinks in, as you said, when you're home and you have a minute to kind of get your thoughts all in place.
Right.
Okay, and so when you do that, when you're sitting there and you're trying to get your thoughts in place, what are you actually feeling yourself physically?
It's really shaken. I feel like I lose control of my bodily functions.
Okay.
As in, like, I lose my train of thought, and then I'll just drift off in another place. Or then once I'm in another place, I didn't realize that my breathing is, my heart rate is maybe at like a 140.
Okay.
And I've just been sitting on the couch.
Okay.
Which is, 140, that's like you're going out for a jog.
Right.
And you can say, I'm going to say my vision blurs, but, tunnel vision.
Right.
It's just, I just completely just zone out. And then I just realized, like, oh, I'm not who I am right now. Just thinking about the deployment.
Okay. And you just said a couple of things, so I'm just going to go over really quick for some clarity. When you say lose control of your bodily functions, you mean you can't get yourself to sit still, you can't, what did you mean by that?
I would say I get kind of like numb, so I don't really know what I'm like really doing, as in I don't really feel anything. But once I kind of get kind of like consciousness in it, I'm breathing hard, I'm like sweating.
Okay.
I just had tunnel vision.
So it sounds like this is a lot of stress that you're feeling. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty.
Okay. So today's session, I wanted to focus on a problem, and I wanted to focus on teaching you a skill to help you alleviate the problem that you're having, one of the problems that you're having. And it sounds like you're stressed out, and you're telling me that your heart rate is a little high at times when you're just sitting on the couch. And it sounds like you're having a hard time relaxing. Is that correct?
Right. I mean, yeah, you can say that for the most part. Because before this, I was fine.
Okay.
Throughout the day, even at night. Even I'll go work out and come back after, and I'll still be, collecting my thoughts. And then once that thought comes, I'm just, right back at it.
Okay. So now, if it goes back to relaxation and your inability to do so, what do you think about us working on a skill or two here for you to be able to kind of ground yourself? Because you're saying you kind of feel almost like you're not even who you are, is what you said. And so sometimes grounding yourself and realizing, like, okay, I am here, this is a table, this is a piece of paper, can help you refocus all that energy that you have bottled up inside of you, and it can help you relax a little bit.
Yeah, anything that can help, I will take it.
Okay. So let's go over this little activity, and then I'm going to show you the homework that I'm going to give you, okay? So what it is say I'm feeling anxious today, right? And I'm having a moment where I'm not really here, but I know that I'm here, but I'm just not there mentally. Let's say I name 5 different things that I see around me immediately. So I see a table, I see a cell phone, I see a pen in my hand, I see this card, and I see these papers. My ability to tell myself, to distract myself from feeling outside of myself, is to be like, okay, this is here, I'm here. This is here, I'm here. These are here, I'm here. So sometimes naming 5 things in a room that you see, you can feel, is going to help you ground yourself and remind yourself that you are here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, do you think that's something that you would be able to do on your own if you're sitting on your couch, like you said, and you're starting to feel your heart rate go up, or you're starting to breathe a little heavier, that you just look around yourself and you're like, okay, this is the table, this is my watch, this is my phone, this is my chair. Is that something you think you would be able to do?
Yeah, I can do that. I feel like, especially doing that, I can get more aware of my surroundings.
Right,
You know?
and that's the purpose of it.
Because it doesn't, because it can not even happen while I'm home. It can happen when I'm out to eat.
Right.
And, I can be having a conversation with somebody, actually talking about that situation, and I just zone out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll be a good exercise, because I can realize I'm in a restaurant. Like, this is the table, my water,
Right. It's meant to bring you back down and ground you, really. That's the purpose of the exercise. So if you think that's something that you can do, I would really appreciate if you would work on that, and we could see how that would help you.
All right.
Yeah?
I can do that.
Okay. So this here is called the Daily Activity Log, and it has every day of the week, and it has what provokes you and what you did about what provokes you. And so you would write here, say it's Monday, and you're provoked by a staff meeting you had at work today. So you would write staff meeting here, and then what you did to alleviate the feelings that you were having from the provocation. So it would be, I touched 5 things. I touched 5 things. And then you would write table, desk, pen, notebook, chair. And you would do that every day for the next week until I see you again next Monday, saying, okay, this is what provoked that anxious and nervous feeling that I'm having. This is what provoked that tunnel vision that you're explaining. And this is what I did. This is what I touched. This is what I saw. And that's what helped me with what provoked me.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to leave this with you so that you can take that with you. And if you bring it back next week, we can go over it and see how that helps improve your situation as well.
All right. Question.
Yes.
So I get to provoke, and you said did.
Mm-hmm.
So you said how many? Does it have to be 5 things? They can just.
I was just throwing a number up there.
Okay.
5. Normally I say 5. That's just, it's better than 3, and it's not too much.
And, and does it have to be like I touch it? Can it be like I see it?
No, it could be. You could just
or I hear
could,
something.
Right.
Like using like my senses or something.
Right. Anything that's going to bring you back to the room that you're in, to the place that you are, to who you are, to remind you that I am here. This is what's happening. I'm not this hazy tunnel vision situation that I'm experiencing right now. So if it's whether you touch, feel, taste, maybe you have gum in your mouth, and you remember, hey, I have gum in my mouth, I'm chewing. Sometimes that kind of stuff can help as well.
All right.
So does that make sense now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now that we're wrapping up our session, I just wanted to do a little summary about the session. We reviewed the homework, so if you have any questions, you can ask about that. And then I just wanted you to let me know about anything you think that we need to focus on, anything you think I missed, anything like that, okay?
No, I get pretty much everything for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think this is good because I can do this, not only on paper, I can do it like in my phone, so I can do it from, driving home or heading somewhere, or meeting up with friends, or pretty much throughout any activity that I do.
Right, and it's not meant to be burdensome, so I'm glad that you don't find it that way.
Okay, yeah.
So is there anything that you think that I'm missing, anything that you think we need to focus on for next session, or any questions maybe that you have for me?
No, I don't think so. I just really mean just annotating this. Make sure I annotate everything. Does it have to be like one thing? Also, can it be multiple things that happen throughout the day? So like, say this has like one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I put like, not only was it staff meeting, it was me before I was about to work out, or when I had this conversation?
Of course, it can be anything that's going to provoke that kind of nervous and anxious feeling that you have. It's anything. It could be 5 things, it could be 2 things, it could be 7 things.
Okay.
As long as I just want you to see that you're writing it down, so that when we review it, you see what's provoking it, and then what you can do about it, and how that's going to help you. And it's going to make a lot more sense when we see each other in a week and go over this together.
Yeah.
Okay? So basically, we are done with our session today. So if you have no other questions, that's it for me.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. See you next week.